Hi, I'm the Guild, DM for the Tales from the Ten Lands series that you're about to watch. But I'm coming on this to give you a few bits of heads up. First, there's a lot of what's going to look like bad editing on the front. That's because my computer crashed quite a few times. And we don't really have a way to properly fix that post-production. We're working on ways to fix it technical wise, but that's down the line. On the back end though, there's also going to be some other particular edits. We're retconning a few things. As it stands, everything that's going to be shown in this episode is the canonical events, how they happened. That being said, we will also address this live on the third Tuesday and anytime it happens in the future. We don't really expect it to happen in the future, but better to be honest and forthcoming than be deceitful and gaslighty, because gaslighting is bad. Anyways, I do hope that you enjoy this episode of Tales from the Ten Lands. Now, back to the plot. Hello, everyone. I love being able to have a Stream Deck thing going. It's so nice.
I know, they're amazing.
Right? Like, I can do both of those little things. Like, actually remember to turn off the music so you can actually hear us. Right.
Yeah.
What?
I know, right? Weird. Like, we want actually to be able to hear each other. So,
Crazy talk.
we're gonna make the obvious observation obvious, and we're gonna go over it fairly quickly on this. As you probably noticed in the opening slide area, as well as the like little camera layouts, we're down a person. Kitty will no longer be joining us moving forward. There was some misalignment, and as such, we have parted ways. So, moving forward, this is our fairly-ish regular roster. I'm going to try and center myself within the camera available to me within the little box. So moving gaily forward, we will be. Yeah, we don't do anything straightforward. We move gaily forward. From here, it is going to be the 5 of them and me, except for probably on the 18th where we will have someone back for at least a session. We look forward to them returning. But on other related notes, someone who has more notes than most other players on the field, Skad, I pass the mic to you.
Oh, yes. Let me see. Well, oh, yeah. Yeah, I do actually have a lot of notes, guys. Here, let me check. Let me get them all pulled up. Okay, we could do that. Carry the 1, drop the 95, total of 69. Nice. And previously on Tales from the Ten Lands. So a lot's been happening, lots been going on, lots been going up. But let's see what's going on. So what's been happening? Well, the party had come together and they had gone on a journey to Dungrave Mine in order to figure out what the hell's going on there. And they found out what the hell's going on there. A lot of hell caused by some hellions. In this case, some tribes of goblins and kobolds, they went in, cleaned up shop, nearly got their asses kicked. Someone made a deal with a super powerful being from history, and then the party started making the journey back, made a new friend, Philly, and some rough conversations were had on the road. We've got Scott ended up having a rough conversation, had some opinions and feelings about their partner and friend making such a choice before he could make a deal with his superfile entity, but now he's coming to terms with that. There were some conversations between that friend and another friend. There were some feelings and opinions espoused. Then there was another there were conversations all around. Everyone had lots of big emotions and feelings, and we finally arrived back at the manor of Lord Sandro. And we met the dragon proprietor of the inn. We're getting ready to have a meeting with Lord Sandro. But first, we've sat down at a table, and Scott's put together a murder board. Let's see what's up tonight on Tales from the Ten Lands. Guild, back to you. Sorry.
It is quite all right. So today's going to be a little bit different of a session. We're going to have our front end piece. Then after that, we're going to move into some downtime activities. We're going to try and get through as much of it as we can in a single sitting. And something that I'm springing on the players right now. If we can't make all of the whole episode pieces mesh into this one little thing, well, we might do some one-on-ones. Time and availability notwithstanding. Because I love my short draft for the chaser and giving myself more headaches.
I mean, I'm okay splitting it up into 2 episodes, a 2-parter beach episode.
Why it's doing that.
I really want to know what all the characters' bathing suits would look like now.
Green trunks with blue trim around the waistband and the hem of the shorts.
It's nice.
Okay, just a neon yellow bikini.
That makes so much sense.
That actually tracks perfectly. Are we going to like a controlled like pool, or are we going in nature, like ocean, lake, river?
Both.
Any nature-based one, Philly is naked. And then if it's like in a public like environment, I don't know. Philly strikes me as a trunks and a shirt kind of person if they're in that environment. But like any nature-based one, they'd be like, nah, it's naked time.
Very nice.
Silver would definitely wear like probably boxer brief level tight shorts that go to mid thigh, and then she'd wear some sort of sports bra that's binding to keep herself in, because they don't need to be flying everywhere in nature and in a pool setting.
What about Fiacre?
Oh, Fiacre would probably wear like boy short, hot pant, like kind of skin tight affair.
You're
Probably
matching
in black.
Silver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very reflective of like me in real life. And yeah, like maybe something kind of vaguely binder shaped up top, just to keep up the mystery.
Notice I didn't say colors because Silver would just grab whatever that fit
That's fair.
and get her to the pool quickest so she can join her friends. Like,
Gray and blue polka dots. I don't know why.
for who?
For you. I don't know why.
I can see you rocking a polka dot bikini.
Not a
Or boy
bikini,
short,
my
whatever.
dude. Bikini would not be fun, I don't think. Well, you know what? Depending on our mood, maybe.
Anyways, so you all are left in this side room, and Scott has pulled out I want to say it's a notebook.
Yeah, Scott just has this little notebook. He's always taking notes in all the time. I mean, that's what his job was, keep track of things. So he sits there. It's like, all right, let me tell you what we've got so far. And Scott's going to go through, and I'm going to go through kind of all the disparate, spread out events that we've experienced, all the little clues, and see if by talking about them in one place, we get a bigger picture of everything we've been going through right now. This is a little bit kind of all over the place. I've just been kind of quickly putting it together with Mealy's notes and everything. But so kind of starting off, that ship where the pirates attacked that rescued you out of the sea, Luna. It claimed to be the Jasper, but it was actually a ship called the Night Watch, and its flag came from the Palandro Expanse. I believe I have that right. The note that Fiacre gave them that triggered it had this logo on it. That I have known, that I have labeled the Foxhead logo, or FHL. In some research, it seems to have come from a group called the Sune Emporium. I believe I got that correct, Gil.
It's
Excellent.
like Kitsune, but without the KI, because the keys don't belong to you.
That's what I was feeling like. Yeah, that's what I like. So the crates in the warehouse that had the animated armor that nearly killed us, they had that Foxhead logo. And in my research and tracking down, a lot of them were kind of shifted and moved through. Some were kind of snuck through the port, didn't necessarily come in on the Night's Watch, but maybe on other ships. Some of them may not even come in on ships. They were shifted and moved through. There's a lot of mess and stuff there. Before we left town, we got the vision, or Luna got the vision from Navarro, lost his friends. He found the tower, but they were not there. The tower is in the dirt. The fires are out. The forest is wild. I think you had shared some of that message with us. And the Titans are on their way. The last friend left is past the manor, which I'm taking to mean they made it to Dungrave. Another note is that I had maybe the crates came from the Night Watch under the cover of the attack. Maybe the point of the attack was so they could sneak them into the warehouse. The paperwork had them going to the manor, but they never made it, obviously. And could be that they were redirected to Dungrave. We don't know for sure, but there's a likelihood. The animated armor from history haven't been made since before the Rose War. There's also a note that I have because we've had 2 instances of it, of scarecrows. I ran into one in the woods when I snuck after Susan, and then we ran into one in Dungrave. There's a note here that Lord Xandro did order armor from Caldera House for display, but they weren't animated. So it's likely that these are a separate set of armors that were maybe piggybacking that shipment, though we're not 100% sure. I also thought of something. We found some tracks of some of the animated armor in Dungrave. Our initial assumption was that it was one of the gods trying to find the way to the temple. What if, and then when we got down to the basement, I'll come back to my thought in just a second, because once we got down to the basement, the door to the ways was missing. That had been ripped off, chopped down into gold, and that's what actually set off our whole journey, the timing of that. And then there was a Sune Emporium logo note lying on the ground there. What if who has ever got down there wasn't one of the gods, but okay,
Yeah.
animators haven't seen since the Rose War. Scarecrows. We've had 2 instances of them. Once with when I snuck off after Susan, and once in the mine.
I'm gonna do a small thing. Just continue
And-
going.
Okay. Then we at the bottom of Dungrave we found the door was taken off, and there was a note with a key with the fox head logo from Sune Emporium. My theory is that something I just realized, perhaps the goblins and kobolds came in, yanked down the door because they saw it was made of gold, and started melting it down, putting it together to make some money. And that's what started everything moving, threw us on the track of our destiny shit. And that's when the armor started being redirected. And then maybe one of the gods made his way up there, went down, grabbed the armor, and then went through, cleaned up shop, or made their way into the ways. One last little note I have that I'm not sure of. A
Make it
door
away.
would have needed a key to open the path, but if we took the door off, would it have locked the path in place?
Well, oh,
Was that asking the
Uh,
table or me?
You, actually.
Katie, check your Discord.
oh, so that wasn't an in-character question. Fantastic. Okay.
So for that particular question,
I don't
that
know if Skad would actually know. I did have a note here that Skad probably wouldn't know that.
probably wouldn't. Scott would probably not know that.
No, in character.
If it was
maybe
okay, if it was an in-character question, then I
I'll
shall
go
respond.
back in character. Yeah.
Well, I think that
Locking
this
in.
is a fantastic example of just one more area in which we do not have sufficient information. I believe that this is one of those fantastic uses for my my own sort of personal history as a scholar, and something that I would do well to research on our behalf.
Side note, we found the note at the bottom of Dungrade Mine.
All right, Scott. Yes, I believe you were asking about note.
We had the note, but I'm trying to remember. Did we find a key with it?
Yes.
Well, yes, you found keys, but they were keys to the mine.
Okay.
Well, actually,
that's where I got thanks.
So Fiacre does actually have the key that goes to the magic portal door. Fiacre does still have that key. They kept that with them, if you'll recall.
I do recall that. Yeah, you haven't done any magic on that yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That has a pin firmly placed within it.
Yeah, and that's all I got. I know that was a lot, and we've still got to organize it, but I just kind of wanted to get all of our ducks in a row, I think is how it goes, or at least put everything on a board so we could put pins in all of them and then string them together with yarn. What color do you guys think we should go for the murder board? I mean, red is a classic.
Red is a classic. I personally am a big fan of like a nice foresty green.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe like foresty green for allies, orange for like questionable persons, black for like MacGuffins. I don't know.
Well,
we could really organize
because we'll
it.
have the elements and the connections need to be categorized.
Yeah, because like,
categorized
we can
for
get different
event that happened or connected to or maybe connected to.
Yeah. Okay, because so
Yeah.
so we can get different colored pins, and that can identify what we're like enemy, MacGuffin,
Yeah, there we
ally,
go.
and then the strings could be different colors like yellow, orange, red. Like
Mm.
yellow is suspected, orange is like tentative, like loose evidence, and red is like confirmed connection.
Cool. And then we'll just have to build it so it can fold up and we can carry it with us.
Yeah, I mean, I love going to the craft store. That sounds fantastic. I'm 100% down for that activity. Actually,
Yeah.
What color for
Fantastic.
Pepe, Sylvia?
no, that's that's the gnome we met in the forest on our way here. Don't you remember them? They had a series of smoke shops. That's where I bought my last assortment of tobacco. Right, everybody? Okay.
I don't remember that.
With you. Anyway, so yes, we have
Fantastic. Well,
a plan.
I am glad that we have all of this information collected in a nice, neat fashion. It's quite funny, actually. It almost seemed like that explanation took longer than it should have, given how many words were actually involved. No offense to you, of course. Just I don't know.
I try
Maybe
not to
I'm dazed
ramble,
from
but
travel.
it's been a very busy couple of days. We got a lot of big
Yeah.
emotions, and now we're finally back home,
Some of us
relatively
almost
safe.
died a few
just
times.
yeah, the word vomit just kind of comes out.
Also, I really liked your pauses in between each like little soliloquy because I think
It
that allows
really,
us to absorb the
Well, I
information.
tried not to make that diegetic, but you know how that goes. I'm sure there's a Watsonian explanation for it.
I don't know. I only think the gods can make sense of that.
We love you,
Yeah.
Guild.
That's true.
In any case, I can go over the formatting one more time. I have already given the entire report quite a thorough editing
Yeah.
job. If you'd like, or if you'd like to just trust my first pass, we can
Oh yeah.
sort
This
of
is just
proceed.
this is me just pulling out those little bits, your full reports, everything. I was just trying to pull out the little clues.
Oh yes, oh
And
yes.
yeah, we can definitely work on that. I mean, this will probably take a while, and we'll have more clues to add, and we'll get a bigger picture and figure out what's going on eventually. I mean, we're here, we're sitting in a nice room around a nice table with some nice food and drinks. So, hey, let's bring the mood down by word vomiting.
Also, our hosts left. Do you that is that normal for them to do? They've been gone a while because that conversation lasted a while.
Oh yes, it's not. That is definitely something that I assume that they
I
went off
mean,
to go speak to
they
Lord
left for a while
Xandros.
once, and I followed after him, and you guys went through a whole story about how Izzy fucked a dragon one time, and I missed the whole thing.
Oh yes, that was a great one. I'd really I'd really like to get more of those stories next time we see dear old Izzy.
Because I definitely learned a lot. They used some terminology that I had never heard before.
Oh, and
Yeah,
we definitely
but that
need
doesn't surprise
that
me about them.
terminology for our smut novels now.
Right, like fluffle
Right.
instead of flap.
once you learn the term hemipene, everything changes in your life.
Well, I haven't
Oh,
incorporated
absolutely.
hemipene yet in my smut because like the people that are interacting probably don't have hemipenes. I have to do further research yet, but so far, nah.
It takes a
Anyway.
tricky grip to really make the best use of that one. But in any case, I think we can move on from that topic before Scott becomes too uncomfortable.
I have no idea what you're talking about. He winks.
You.
Oh no.
In any case, I believe our host went off to go speak to Lord Xandros. Attendants, or perhaps the Lord Xandro directly, but
What are you doing?
I would like to double check to see if if we're going to be speaking with them soon, or I mean, I don't want to just sit here, right?
We could
Right.
just call for them and see what
I'm
happens.
antsy. I'm antsy to speak with them.
Sylvane
Well-
or Fiacre, just yell out their name. Maybe they'll come a running.
If they're within
I-
150 feet of me, I can attempt to get in contact with them.
See? Yelling
Oh.
out for them.
That's useful.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to reach out. So I gotta remember their name. Oh, Susan. Yeah, that's right.
Susan.
Yeah. So I'm going to start in the cardinal directions and just kind of go systematically around to try to see if I can catch them. And I'm just gonna cast message to be like, "Hello, Susan. We're still here. You doing stuff? What's up?"
Right after you do the second
Mhm.
cardinal direction, you hear a knock on the door, and then the door opens, and there is a fairly young-looking Kenku that peeks their head in.
Hello.
And you hear in them repeat in for the rest of you, Lord Xandero's tone of voice. It is time to retrieve the adventurers.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, we'll be right there. Thank you so much.
They look over the group and rifle through a couple pockets, and in another more southern voice, pull out a letter and hold it out. Got a letter from Mia. She steps forward and grabs the letter. He opens it up, and after reading it for a moment, looks somewhere between distraught and relieved. And without another word, she just quickly picks up her stuff and heads out.
Oh, were you?
No, my hunting buddy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Where you going, girl?
Well,
Bye.
She turns around and all she says is, "Home."
oh, well,
That's good.
And then just
Drink some tea.
and heads off in
Very
well.
quite a rush.
I poke my head out the door and watch her for a while, going off just a little like, oh, okay. And then I return to everyone just a little confused.
Well,
All right.
when you as you're watching her, as soon as she gets out the actual door, she gets into a as soon as she is outside,
Mhm.
she holsters up her gear and goes into a full-on dead sprint.
Okay. I cast a 5th level's Hunter's Mark to track her for 24 hours. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to remember, did she have a coat? I don't think she had a coat.
No,
Well,
Okay.
we can check.
no,
No,
we
you can't.
did not. Did not, in fact, have one. Because there were only two, and one went to
There were 3.
me. Oh, wait, there were. Oh, then yes, you did.
Because, yeah, we gave her Kiki's.
Yep.
Yeah, the more
Yes, indeed.
foresty looking one. I will, as DM, pass that back into the party.
Well, all right. Maybe Skad should have that one, since Skad's nice arrow got destroyed. Well, not destroyed, but
Left behind.
left behind.
Left behind.
Just
Well-
looks pointedly at Mithluna.
It got left behind,
Yes,
like a
I believe
tragic
we all
story
remember how that
about.
happened.
Why is everyone upset
you
about this
know-
arrow?
It was really powerful.
It was a nice arrow.
So it had like a really pretty arrowhead on it. What's the deal with that?
No, function over
don't-
form.
Functionally,
I
it was,
don't
like,
know if we
very
figured
powerful.
out. Did we ever
Yeah, we
figure
still,
out what the arrow
like-
did?
Yes, we did.
I used it in a moment of desperation, and it, like when I loosed it from the bow, it just blasted off.
It
It-
took about half the boss's health, according to
It did a like there was a massive just like shock wave of energy that I saw. Still don't know specifically what it did, but it looked like it hurt.
So in
Made
a
me a
moment
target too.
of desperation, you blasted a man. Okay.
Well,
Well-
I think it,
Silver, write that down.
I was just about to say I'm gonna write that down right now. She'll pull out
That's
her
a good
journal.
one.
I should have grabbed my journal to take notes. Dang it.
I mean,
Be right back.
I guess that would be considered accurate.
I
I
mean,
don't know that that was a man, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't think we were ever clear on the sort of
oh,
pronoun preferences of the creature that you
blasted.
penetrated.
You penetrated a monster.
You shot all over.
With a
Yeah.
powerful and unyielding black arrow.
Shaft.
Unyielding is pretty
Shaft.
good terminology.
An unyielding shaft.
Shaft.
Okay, could you repeat that sentiment one more time for my articles? I have my journal. You said I've written a lot
You
lately. So hold on. Okay.
So I then if
You blasted a man
Um,
for fun? Is that what that was?
It was in a moment
no,
of
in a moment of
desperation.
desperation.
In a moment of desperation, you
Oh.
blasted a man.
So Skad's Wet Dream will be the title.
No. You don't need to put my
God's-
name in that.
God's Wet Dream.
They're gonna spell it slightly differently. That's how they're gonna get away with it in like production.
Usually we just use pronouns. But with Mithluna and I, we talked. You're just gonna be Scott.
You
I'll
know,
take that. I'll
actually,
accept that. Gil, side note, so maybe in her rush to leave, she just left the coat behind and Scott's just like,
Yeah, she had set it down,
Mm.
like on the back of her, and she like
Yeah.
it's gonna be an empty coat for all intents
yeah,
and purposes.
yeah,
on
I'm
it.
not worried about any of that. So I'll go ahead and add an adventurer's coat to my. I'll spend the next hour just kind of, folding it, redoing it for my smaller
The other one in there is
stature.
yours.
Comes out a little more padded than before because I'm smaller. But I work on folding it, and I get some of the darker colors to show on the outside. I give
Looks
mine
great on
some
you.
tails, so it's got tails to the coat too.
Oh,
Kind of like a Australian
coat.
duster, which is
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
the
yeah.
physical closest representation that you will find to the design that I put out for it. Is the Australian duster. Different than the
looks
Western duster.
great.
The Australian duster is the one that actually has like that shoulder cape.
Oh yeah. This is exactly what I was thinking. Minus some more on the front, just kind of some on the front, but mostly tail in the back. But yeah.
Yeah.
This is the kind of look I'm
And
thinking.
there are straps that
buttons
you
up
can
over and-
like find among it, to where it can like strap to your legs, to where it follows and flows with you. So say you were riding a horse and it won't get in the
Cavalry
way.
jacket. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most utilitarian forms of clothing started out either in heavy work or military. So,
All
Yeah.
right.
Mithluna.
Um,
Should I add this like clothing change to the Scott Wet Dream, or should we just leave it at
Oh,
At
I
the
think
blasting
absolutely.
a man
It
in
needs to be.
desperation?
It needs to be the magical girl transformation into the new outfit.
Oh, Scott gets a
Yeah.
magical girl transformation.
That does sound
Yes.
nice.
It does.
With swirl and music.
you hear
but
a
I do
whisper in
bel-
your voice that you didn't even notice Scott sneaking up. I will not have myself insert have a magical girl transformation unless there are straps and ball gags included for hilarity.
Whoa, Scott, you're into this? I thought you hated our smut.
And then you turn around and he's already sitting back at the table. I don't know. What are you talking about?
All right.
Philly, what were you gonna say?
Okay, hold on. We have to go meet a very powerful individual.
Yes,
You
so-
guys have to
Yep.
meet a very powerful individual.
Okay,
I'm just here.
Yes. So if we may, we need to wrap this up and go. There is something that we need to go to. I need to use my magic to help you all now. This in very brief. Who here has heard of marketing?
Oh, yeah, we do that when we're campaigning for
Fantastic. Okay.
members
Okay.
in-
Moving on.
Is that where you
I
like take rocks
needed
and
a
mark
yes.
on them?
Just needed a yes. friends.
We go to a market. Is that marketing?
Okay. In brief, in brief, we did a good job. There were some bonus objectives we could have accomplished that we did not accomplish. We did what we were asked to do by Lord Xandro, yes? And
Yeah.
though
No.
it was a tumultuous adventure and not everything went according to plan, we need to focus when we walk inside on making sure that we present ourselves properly. Now, when you tell a powerful lord that you did a very good job, right, you need to be sure that you are eloquent enough that you can speak to the lord's sense of romance, because such people are often educated in art and poetry. My point in all this is that I'm going to read you a very short passage of a classic to help inspire you for when we go in and we start talking about the events of our adventure. That way, when you are asked a question by Lord Xandro, as you may be asked, in addition to just dropping off the report, we may have to answer field questions directly. You can answer with a certain eloquence inspired by the passage I'm about to read you. Now, Philly, I did see a hand in the air.
Oh, I was gonna recommend that you just talk. That I don't need to
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
anything,
I
honestly.
agree. I agree. You're kind of the more elegant spoken one, plus you're kind of our face.
I
think.
appreciate that, but there are some things about the mine and about the adventure that I don't know. For example, what are all the things that were written on all the walls in languages I don't speak?
I'll start to write that
the...
down. Can I write
Yeah.
Guild? Can I write down as much as I remember and hand
Yeah.
it to Fiacre?
Give me a
I'll translate it for you.
history check at advantage real quick. It's a fairly what's your bonus for your history, by the way?
Not high. It's a +1.
+1?
Because I'm smart.
It's fairly low DC, so advantage is it's fairly recent in your mind.
Okay.
It's one of those, there's a lot of information. Can you remember?
Oh no. 9.
All right.
That is one shy of the DC that I was going for.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
some of it's you get
Oh, fuck,
most
I have
of it.
guidance.
Oh,
I do too. Oh
Add
shoot, I do
guidance.
too.
guidance. I will
Okay.
let you retroactively with the guidance. You get it because
Okay,
the lowest you can get with guidance is a 1, and that's all
Yeah.
you needed. Is I set the DC to 10 because again, there's a lot of information,
Yeah.
and it's one of those moments of like, there's a lot. Thank you, love. There's a lot that you needed to get through, and blah.
All right.
So you,
Hi.
yeah, 10. You got it.
I appreciate you doing that for me. That may be yet of some assistance, but I must insist you allow me this opportunity to inspire you, because you may yet be asked a direct question, and if Lord Xandro demands an answer from you, I dare not, as merely his humble deputy, may not counter that. In any case, I
I trust you though. Genuinely.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, then trust me on this.
Okay.
I will now recite a passage from the book The World Serpent. Some of you may have heard of this book before. This passage is one in which Lord Brandok Daha and Lord Juss face down a terrifying creature. Now, Brandok Daha sprang a foot and drew his sword. Seldornius's loom. What stirreth? He cried. Thou lookest ghastly. That look thou hadst when thou tookest the helm at our prows swung westward towards Katarsta Sound, and the fate of Demonland and all the world beside hung in thine hand for wail or bliss. There is little sword room, said Juss. And again he looked forth eastward and upward along the cliff. Brandok Daha looked over his shoulder. Mivarsh, their traveling companion, took his bow and set an arrow on the string. It hath scented us down the wind, said Brandok Daha. Small time there was to ponder. And out of character, I will spare you the rest of this passage from the fantastic book. Actual real book. Just saying, really good. But anyway.
I just want to make the note, Silver, for our smut. I really like the phrase, there is small sword room.
Ooh, yeah. We're gonna.
In any case, Fiacre will continue to read you a rousing, action-filled passage.
I like rousing too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Add an A on there if you really want to get down with it.
Thank
but but so Fiacre continues to read to you all, inspiring you for a little over a minute.
I'm definitely inspired, Fiacre.
Oh,
Now they do this for a little over a minute.
Mechanically, why?
Because Fiacre does this for a little over a minute. And I did forget to broach this before we got started, Guild, but we can discuss it in very brief right now. Fiacre does this for over a minute because they are casting enthralling performance on all of you.
Okay.
What does that do?
I feel
So-
enthralled.
Short version, because some of this might be lawyers.
Yes. So enthralling performance. You must make a wisdom saving throw of a DC of 15.
Versus
and
a
if you
charm
fail,
effect.
If you fail, you are charmed for 1 hour.
Can I
so
And
that was
automatically
a wisdom save.
Can I just
yes, and for
fail so that way I can be charmed?
you can choose that. The effect, though, is that for the duration of the hour, your character is compelled to speak flatteringly. I need to find. I could find the exact wording if you want, but essentially to speak
Favorably.
glowingly of Fiacre and their deeds and doings, and basically to say that Fiacre is such just a fantastic person.
Don't I do that already?
And to brag about them to anyone who will hear you out. That's pretty much the extent of the charm. It's considered one of the weaker charms. But the one strength of this charm is that you cannot know in character, even if you succeed your saving throw, that they tried this. Yes, DMC.
Oh, well, okay. So Philly passed, but it would also be the same for insight. Could I have caught on that this is some sort of magic effect because it lasted for over a minute before it like fully took effect?
I have to leave that to Guild because the wording
Yeah,
of it
Yeah.
does say you cannot know that someone tried to charm you.
Yeah, according to the raw ability,
Yeah.
if you succeed in
Okay.
passing it, you don't know someone was trying to beguile you.
Okay. So
Um,
then I was gonna like if I caught on to it, I was just gonna let it happen. But since I don't know what happened, I'm just gonna be like,
roll
that's
me
I have-
either Arcana or History check at disadvantage.
I did pass Fiacre. I decided to roll since I already do that anyways.
I have advantage
Yes, you do.
on saving throws
You do.
against
You do
being
actually have
charmed.
advantage.
I rolled with advantage and I still lost.
Katy, your dice are going in the mail tomorrow. Your new dice are going in the mail tomorrow. DMC, do not comment. They're going in the mail tomorrow.
For the Arcana check at disadvantage, I only got a 4. But for the saving throw, I got a 16. So I resisted it.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure coming in the mail is illegal.
Depends
it's
on
addressed to you,
the
it's
spelling
not.
of mail.
depends
And
on
also how you package it.
yeah.
It's also if you get caught. It's a whole thing.
I mean, there's a whole industry about that. Anyways, and
my
you can follow
sister's on
the.
this stream. I am so sorry.
No, you aren't. Go there.
Hello there.
I say that way because
Yeah,
I've been told things. Anyways, I'm not gonna be a menace with that. Anyways, yeah, the Arcana check was. You have probably been around a bard at some point before this. It's one of those like that role was. Have you ever come across something like this before?
Right.
And the answer is no, but also you succeeded, so like you don't notice that they tried to woo.
Philly was too like focused on the story and like what is happening.
You're trying to actually like parse
The
it out as
magic
if it's
just
actual
didn't-
history.
Yeah. Like wait, no, hold on. What is happening?
Wait a minute, is this fiction or That doesn't line up with any of the books I've read.
Yeah, that's not in my section of the library. I gotta go. What's the author again?
Redacted.
Oh, Fiacre, you are so amazing. You're just such a beautiful wordsmith. Are you sure that wasn't written by you?
Oh, that's so very kind of you. Actually, it was not. I can definitely that passage was from my notebook. I can definitely give you the author's name and the book title here in a bit. But we really must get going and head out to go have our interview with Lord Xandro.
Whatever you
shall we?
say, you glorious tiefling.
Huh.
God's like,
Llama.
yeah, good story. He hops up
Sometimes
and he's
you
got the
impress
coat
people.
on, and all of his gear has vanished.
Llama, do I need to make a new
Actually, I'll think-
passage for you?
It does take an
I
hour,
think
but I'm
you
hoping we
do.
can...
Have you seen them?
lovely.
They are glorious.
They are in fact
Sure.
Osha immediately jumps on your shoulders and there's cat hair all over it.
Oh,
Who are you talking
over...
to?
Yeah. Oh, for Skad, yeah. And there's a cat on your shoulders.
Surprisingly, the cat hair is not clinging.
Oh,
Fancy.
These are magical coats.
Actually, you're pretty sure that the reason the cat hair isn't clinging is because of the original patronage that it was modeled after.
That's actually more fair. I'm keeping the symbol of Kiki on it just in honor of friendship, and that's where it came from. I'm not gonna hide that.
Out of character, I didn't quite catch if Skad passed or failed.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Ah, okay. No, fantastic.
They sent
All
me
right,
their
I
they sent
told
me their
I
result
told Guild what I
appropriately,
rolled.
and
fantastic.
Scott will be role playing appropriately.
All right. Well, let's not
Yeah.
keep the good Lord waiting now, shall we?
Last question I have before we head in: does everyone remember what you signed off for, of the which side of the deal you were taking?
Yes. And
Yes.
before we do that, is this where we're kind of getting separated where I can make sure everyone read their letters from me that I posted on TikTok?
It will be after this meeting.
Okay, give me a signal.
I will. Trust me, it'll be a very fairly blunt signal of it. You are all led into a different room than you have met with him before. This is very much a office. Not that grand looking. Lord Xandro Cormith is sitting behind the desk. He has a couple servants, aides, bustling around him. There is a fairly like grayish, greenish skinned war breed, half orc, standing in like just behind and to his right. She is dressed in very dark, a very dark looking suit with highlights of like glass and onyx, and the shield of Duskin, which is a larger placard above him on the wall. She has one of those embroidered into the chest of her coat, and it is a sleeveless coat. She has leather bracers, and she looks fairly strong, as well as fairly dexterous.
Praise Lord Xandro. We have returned.
He looks up and smiles to all of you. Ah, yes, you have. I heard you were back, and looks to be that you have traded one companion for another. I heard that Mia took her reward and left. I know that how the guilds work. If they're paying you out of their earnings, then it will be allocated appropriately. If I may, do you have a guild badge on you, Miss?
I do. Oh, Filigree Goldbrand. Lovely to meet you. Here's my Smith Guild, Adventurers Guild. Here's our writ of contract amongst me and the group. Notarized accordingly. I have my contact here locally as well to reach out and make sure all my future contracts, hopefully with this party, are endorsed as well.
He does a quick glance over everything. Thank you very much. I've heard of some of your work. Actually, I believe I signed off for you being part of the watching over the town of Dungrave.
Yes, my lord, that is accurate.
Very good. I am pleased to hear that. And seeing that you are here, that means that that particular contract has either been downgraded or reallocated. I'll make sure to check with the local guildmaster. Nothing for you to worry about.
Absolutely. Yeah, my contract was due for either renewal or finishing, so I wrapped up my end and joined these individuals.
Very good. Do you have the report?
Of course, my lord. And Fiacre, if it was given to them, is going to go ahead and present it with both hands, and is going to wave at Silver and say, Silver, yes, I believe you were carrying our proof. Yes, our physical evidence of a job well done.
The head?
Yes.
Yes, the head.
Oh,
The glorious head that proves that we.
As you
I'll
say
pull
that,
it
he
out.
actually reaches into his coat and then pulls out a handkerchief.
Oh, it's a big head. Like it's not. It's here, and she'll pull it out with her fist in it, like because she's been trying to make it into a hand puppet.
God's head is just
as
in his
soon as you
hands
do
already,
that,
just-
Silver's always silver, guys.
yeah. As soon as you do that, he actually like quickly reaches his hand forward, and there's like a small bowl on his desk that has several dried petals, flower petals, basically a potpourri thing, and he just takes a small handful of the potpourri in his handkerchief, wraps it up, and covers his face with it as he's looking at it. He has the air about him of, I've seen this before. This is kind of my job. I just don't like it. Like,
It's not that bad. It just smells kind of like a miner's armpit after a long day's work. Like it's not
Is-
terrible.
As an out of
Hey,
character
hey,
point of
silver,
order,
silver, people skills.
as an out of character point of order, Guild, what state is the head in? We were promised, if you'll recall, by Philly that it would be preserved. What kind of state's that boy looking in, huh?
it looks
Huh?
like it was probably taken off maybe a day ago at most. And
Something
Fiacre,
just-
it's taken.
sorry.
Fiacre
It
is
took
going
you
to
a
look-
week to get here, so it's in.
Also, this is people skills because would you rather have a fake or would you rather have a real one? I vote real one. So that's true people skills right there.
Fiacre is going to look over at after seeing the head, look over at Philly and just nod.
And you're muted.
Mhm. Yeah, Philly, you're
Happy
muted.
to help. Yeah, happy to help.
Uh,
Would have been real stinky without you. Oh, the glorious stench of victory.
it is.
More smut material.
He looks over to his. He looks over his
Thanks.
shoulder to his right and just nods to the woman who. She moves up to you fairly quickly. Like almost in a blink of an eye, she is in front of you, and she reaches into her coat, pulls out a large cloth, and grips as much of the head of with it as she can, and takes it and heads over out of the room for a moment. I am going to look at my little notes. Yeah,
Blech.
no one really hears the yeah.
Oh.
One second, I have to move some things around real fast.
That's
Lovely. It's always great when the coloring area matches up. Anyway, Skad, you slightly hear the sound of a trunk closing.
Kerthunk.
Yeah. Just a little, but a little bit deeper. If you heard that at all.
Kerthunk.
Yeah. And then they return, wiping their hands and standing behind the Lord again. He opens up his drawer and reminding the DM, how many of you took the deal for seeing the curator?
I'll remind the DM that Fiacre had a bit of a special arrangement. If you recall, if not,
I
I
do
can
not recall.
message you. Okay, I will message you that real quick. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh.
That request.
Doodly- doo-doo-doo-doo.
Right, I remember that now. So by technical, so with that,
They're just not telling the party that.
yes, you're not telling the party that, but the party will find out inevitably anyways.
Oh, that's fair. Fiacre can be aghast when they find out then.
Yeah. So I saw that Luna said that they were taking that deal. Who all was taking full money?
I had said full money, asking if I could think about it, but because I didn't make any movement, Scott's keeping the full money because he doesn't want to be beholden to anybody.
Um, meeting with the curator is not a beholden to thing. It's a you've been around high enough society to know that a curator is one of those things of like, you get in with this person and it's a one-time thing and they're technically beholden to you for getting you the product that or as close to the product that you're looking for.
That's why I went
Then I think
curator.
with Scott having thought about it and everything that's been going on, he wants a little boost of something or the other. He's just going to be thinking about it. So he'll
So
take the curator.
all right, so that is 4 curator markers. So he actually pulled out 4 what look to be black business cards. And he sets each one down at, like, he stands up and sets it down at the edge of the desk. And Izzy is off in the corner. Mark the redding. Everyone needs to watch the gamers of just like, oh yeah, mark the red.
Of course, Izzy's just in the corner.
Just like NPC standing there, like not quite T-posing, but like
Do they do a little dance if you leave them alone too long? We start to like shuffle about a little bit.
no one's ever left them alone long enough.
Oh, that's fair.
Legendary.
Fiacre snatches theirs up really quick and folds it into their, not folds it, but like tucks it into their pocket quickly.
As you pick it up, like as soon as your hand touches it, it immediately emblazons your name on it in gold.
Oh, that's a lovely, lovely trick. I really must figure that one out.
Yes, and we'll get to your run at some point. Izzy. Silver, are you okay?
I just got dust up my nose and it was really uncomfortable.
Aww. Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Yeah, Izzy, I remember the deal that you made across. So.
Yeah.
Your card was handed to you privately. So he sits there for a moment and, all right, I will look over the paperwork. For showing that particular level of job well done, I will be adding another 20 gold, as well as I see that you, Miss Silver, have some new armor. If I will pay for it to be properly fitted, if you would wish. I will pay the smith.
I would. Yeah, I would. Can I get changed first, or do I have to like just strip down right now?
You will see the smith whenever you are available, and
Okay, great.
just tell them to send the request to me for financial reimbursement.
Bet.
As you're saying this, like Philly drops her bag, starts reaching into it, pulls out a contract, pulls out their smith thing, starts filling out. All right, so general refitting for a armory. I'll have access to a local smithy. You can just sign this paperwork here, and I'll get the invoice back to you once it's completed.
Who are you talking to?
Lord,
An enterprising one,
Andros.
our Philly.
He looks at the contract for a moment.
It's
Are you
boilerplate.
skilled with refitting? My eyes don't deceive me, and though I may be a bit on in my years, that is mithril, as I am right.
That is what the kind of armor I have on is.
What? Okay, so Philly spent the last at least 80 of her or 111 years of life working for her grandfather's smithy. Would she have run into mithril at some point?
Highly doubtful when it comes to the difference between gold brands and riverites.
Right. Yeah.
Riverites deal with mithril the
Mithril,
most.
yeah. That's
Gold
right.
brands are... You've learned to be able to make a different kind of armor. You know how to make stone plate.
Can I
Oh,
take off a
Ooh.
small, like maybe like a leg plate, and I'll hand it to Philly and see if that helps her recognize it. So I'll hand that to them. Have you seen this before? It's pretty common in my for riverites.
You've seen mithril. You've come across at least a riverite that has not a set of full plate armor, but give me a proficiency, either intelligence or
Henry.
baby.
what the others use. Where is that? Either intelligence or strength with proficiency.
Intelligence.
Yeah, don't break my armor, please. I'm trusting
It's
you with
just
that.
basically you're doing a tool check to see if you
Snaps, right?
understand. No, to see if
She
you
just-
understand what you're doing.
She just gets so nervous, breaks it.
A submissive 20.
You feel confident that with assistance, you could make this happen. And you do know
Alright.
that the Lord has a, like, you've been through this manor before. It's well stocked. There are several different guild points within this place. And because of how he has his personal guard,
Mhm.
there is a guild certified smith on site.
Okay. Philly's gonna take a second looking over the equipment, and like a very brief flush of like, oh fuck, kind of comes over. Takes a moment. You know what? I believe that I may have oversold my skills because this is a specialty material. But you know what? It would be a privilege to work with a smith on this to better my breadth of knowledge regarding such intricate material.
Do I get a say in that? Because
It is
I
your
would,
armor.
yeah, I think you should be able to experience it. It's a pretty cool material. Just don't break it. But like, if you want to experiment with it, that's fine. Just make sure I can wear it and it doesn't get broken.
I'm not trying to experiment. I'm trying to learn how it works.
That's what I
And
mean.
it's
Like,
still fundamentally a metal. You can re-weld it, work it over time, and it's downsizing. You'll have plenty of scrap.
yeah,
As-
exactly. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I trust you. You can,
Dumb.
I want you to learn if this is
Mhm.
your passion. And besides, you should work with superior metals that the Riverites use.
You know what? You are correct. The Riverites do in fact work with a superior metal. That would be a fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be fun for you.
Interesting.
Why do I feel like a gauntlet has just been thrown?
Mithril is actually a like it's a rare and privileged
Yeah, that's
like
what
the
I
fact that the fact that two ancestries kind of have a corner on that market.
It was sassy, but also factual at the same time. It's just Silver trying not to be
Yeah.
gloaty, but also like factual, just to be a little like flustering. Just
I believe the phrase you're looking for is backhanded compliment.
I was gonna say flirting, but that's fine too.
Are you negging Philly?
Yeah. Yes, I
That
am.
is exactly what Silver is
That's exactly
doing.
what I just said.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Like I said, I think a gauntlet has just been thrown.
I'm gonna engrave a dick on it somewhere that you can't see.
Yeah.
As long as it's yours, I don't mind. Yeah, think about that one.
God's just standing in the corner, folding his coat, thinking, considering, calculating everything they've been through.
I will get a. I will let the curator know that you'll be speaking with them in the morning, and I will bid you all a good rest of your day. I will go over the notes and paperwork. Again, a additional 20 gold on top of your base reward for each of you. As
How much?
I believe that the
That would be a total of 140.
Is that
If you put the
included
full
with
gold
the
amount.
with that's not with the curator though, right?
I am going
Correct.
to.
That's if you take the full gold amount, it's 140 after everything.
Okay, because I'm not taking the full gold.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's
50?
I am opening up the document right now.
I thought it was 501 grand.
Wait.
Um,
Oh wow.
50
Well, then
gold.
my notes would be terribly wrong.
Oh.
It is
I thought it
50
was
gold
50 gold.
for. So in total,
Yes, yes, yes.
the majority of you are getting 70.
What? Oh, right.
Yes,
Because
fantastic. Because of the bonus. Okay, fully understood.
wait, so Silver actually knew something? Was right about something?
Yeah, most of you are getting 70.
My notes were just fucked wrong.
Philly, you are getting 20 gold out of this.
Oh, thank you kindly. Unexpected, but
Ooh,
appreciated.
we have money.
Yeah, because the bonus was 20 gold for proof they will not be returning to the mines,
Yes.
and a severed head is
A severed
proof that
head.
they're not removed, rather they're not returning to the mines.
All right, so we get 70 gold.
A pickle.
Yes, and a meeting with a curator the Lord has good graces with. Note, it is not his curator.
Okay.
Curators are not beholden to anyone. Curators are people that you try and befriend and get in good graces with.
So the
And
curator
Hi,
doesn't
Pickle.
just get us a magic item; they help connect us to one, and we still have to be able to either afford or acquire it.
well, you'll see how the curator works
Sounds good.
in the morning, which if you'd like we can just skip to that.
Yeah.
I think that sounds interesting. Did we get our money before then?
Yes. After you head out, he tells you he writes down a note and puts a wax seal on it and hands it to one of you in the party and mentions to go just a couple doors down, and there's a is where the Adventurers Guild has an office among the manor, and you will be paid appropriately there. Basically, they have a copy of your contracts that you all signed, and what he handed you, as it reads, is because you can look at it. It reads the contract is fulfilled. Bonus is rewarded.
Sounds good.
When they hand us the gold, do they say the amounts out loud?
No.
Okay, good.
As you
Yeah.
guys are discussing this, can I take a moment to change out of my armor to give it to Philly?
Yes.
Philly, you've never seen me in my street clothes. But I'm in. Do you want me to describe it?
Yeah.
As a additional note,
Y-
after you take off your street clothes, like it takes you an extra couple minutes because it's the first time that you've taken off the armor since putting on your curse.
Llama, help me, please.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got you.
I'll aid.
Helping her unbuckle everything.
I'll help as well. I've dealt with folks in armor.
No, get away from us. Just kidding. You can help. You can help.
Blink. Half of it falls off with one strap I grab.
He can get all of the leg stuff, and I'll get the shoulder stuff.
Okay, great. My
Yeah.
arms are just out.
Yeah, it takes an extra moment because you have to maneuver things around because you have to take your weapons out to be able to get your coat off,
Yep.
to be able to get the armor off.
Yep.
And then afterwards, you can, like, while your upper torso is mostly bare, put the axes away.
That because I'm binded, so that's why I was like, it's fine. So then
And
I will.
they
put
create
the axes-
tattoos on your
Yeah.
chain
so I'll do
tattoos.
that. So I'll get my chain tattoos. I'll put on my black skinny jeans, roll those up at the bottom, and then a black button up. It's kind of dirty, and then it's unbuttoned just so you can see my neck tats exposed. I'll put all my rings back on, and then I'll put my stirrup. I won't put my stirrups on. I'll just let them hang to my side this time because I want to be a little loosey goosey without being in my armor. And then my sleeves are rolled up to my elbows.
And you do have your coat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that over my arm because I want to be street silver for a moment. And no shoes. I'm barefoot.
Always feet.
Yes, we've had that discussion.
Yeah. I'm just clarifying. I don't have street shoes. I just have my street feet. And then I'll give you the pieces of armor.
Yeah. You look good when you're not all bulked up. All right. While you guys
Thanks.
go and do your thing, I'm gonna go meet a new friend. And I'm gonna go to the smith while they're doing their stuff.
All right. We'll do so the order of events that
Yeah.
we're going to do real quick is we're
Mhm.
going to do curator,
Mhm.
smith.
Mhm.
Then I will take us to we'll do curator, smith. Silver hands out letters. I will take us to break.
Okay.
Perfect.
This lets us know of the plan for this. As you head off towards the office that he mentioned for meeting up with the curator, you get to a door that looks like it's going to lead to outside. It is a dark wood door, like almost black, with little bits of gold leaf that has dusted off over the years. The gold leaf looks like it's written something in Hordun, but not a version that you're used to.
Does it look like the version of ancient Hordun we saw on the door, or the chunks of the door back in the mine?
Similar styling, but it is not the same words. It's literally just a single lining of instead it's not an arching, it's just like a line of text.
But the syntax and the dialect does look similar.
Yes.
Ah.
Similar or possibly older.
God stops everyone. Oh, hold up. Hold up.
Yes.
I get
Yes.
close. I would like to listen to the door and see if I can actually hear the outside through the door.
As you put your ear up to the door, you hear the door click. And you hear a click within the door.
Oh shit.
And and you start seeing the doorknob turn.
God backs up.
The door opens, and you're looking at a very short hallway, 5-10 feet, and it's a fairly sparse hallway. And on the other side of the hallway, at the end of the 5-10 feet, there's a red curtain.
This door was supposed to go outside, right?
Are you asking the party or any random people by?
The party and also you.
To the best of your knowledge, maybe, but this is the door that the Lord told you to go to.
I really couldn't say, Skad. This is my first time meeting with the curator, personally. Are you concerned about something?
Let's pause and because I want to get our order of operations. Did we just leave? So we got the reports for the money.
You got the
Silver
reports for them.
doffed.
You got the reports. You got the money.
Okay, so
You went to bed. It's the next
we're
morning.
dead. This is the next morning. I missed a few steps in between. I thought we hadn't done the bed. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna rewind, and we're gonna go into an alternate reality where Scott is actually caught up on everything. And and then Scott's just like checks the reading on the door. No, still can't read it. And then he walks on in.
As you're walking in, are you holding your card at all, or is it just in your pocket?
I I think it would be in one of, because by this time he's got the adventurer's coat on. It would be in one of the pockets, but Scott has his hand on it already.
As you step across the threshold, you feel it disappear from your hand.
What? No, there's my ball bearings. No, there's the crowbar.
Also,
No,
as you turn around to like look, there's a brick wall behind you in the doorway.
fucking again. And I just turn and walk through the red curtain. I'm just.
The rest of you see him walk just in, turn around, look at all you a little weird for a second, say "fucking again," and then just walk through the curtain.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mithluna.
Well, that wasn't nice.
What?
Mithluna.
Yeah? Yeah.
I kind of got the curator just in case you needed it. And I kind of got it assuming everyone was going to, take all the gold. So please, if there's anything you want, please let me know and I'll tell the curator to get it because I have a lot of the things that I need. Unless the magical god tells me otherwise, but I wanted to make sure you had a backup plan so that way you had money just in case you want to help out your crew and have access to a curator.
Oh. Oh. Kind of pauses, looks at you, is like, that was very kind and thoughtful of you.
Yeah. And Gild, I did message you that when we first, started.
I also picked the curator.
I thought you picked
So
the money.
No, I picked the curator.
Who picked the money in the group?
I don't know.
Sylvane.
I think that was originally me, but I changed my mind.
Oh, Sylvane. Okay. I'm sorry.
Fiacre picked money.
Fiacre, that's your offer.
And
so I'll turn to Fiacre.
but you
There you
notice Fiacre has a card with their name on it.
What the heck is happening? Yeah, that's why I did it this way, because just in case y'all wanted to take the money. Maybe I could ask if Philly needs anything, because she didn't get anything.
There
I
you
wanted
go.
to be the fallback person. And again, I
Well,
think I did message you all this, Guild.
if
You
all
did.
else fails, you can when she kind
I
of
was
looks around
also-
and sees that Skad's already gone.
Oh, I know what I
Maybe
need.
See if we can replace that era. What do you need?
I need a brewing kit. I took proficiency. I know how to brew things.
You can buy that at a
Yeah.
store. A curator
don't
is something for
believe-
something.
I'll talk to Philly.
Yeah, we're looking
and
at a
see.
magic item list at this point.
I don't
I've
believe
been
you should
scrolling
bother
my
the
phone
curator with
paying-
something.
Get a
like that.
magical brewery.
No,
Anyway.
I'll talk
Like
to
a
Philly
mini
and
one
see
that
if
you
they
can
need
carry with you?
anything. We'll keep going.
Let's go.
So as you all shuffle in one by one, your cards leaving your possession as you walk in, you all end up in this large room. It is circular. It has boxes of varying sizes in little cubbies, and there is a elven man that is looking through a book. It's hard to determine his age by looking at him, but you can tell he has a bit of age on him, seeing as he has a fairly refined goatee. Elves can grow facial hair, it just takes a bitch of a time. And most of them don't like the in-between time, so they just shave it, but he has a very refined, like, full-on goatee. His red hair, a sharp contrast to his olive complexion. Think of Middle Eastern Greek, somewhere in that area of skin tone.
A pleasure to meet you. The curator, I presume?
Yes, this one is Vaughn. What do I owe? To what does this one owe a pleasure?
Oh, well, we were all issued these lovely little cards with our names on them by Lord Sandro. They seem to have gone Going
Yes,
off.
yes. This one sees your meetings are in order, and you see that that your cards are pinned into a book.
Fantastic.
The book that they're looking at. Let us see, let this one see. Let this one see. How will we determine this? Let's go tallest to shortest. So between
God
I'm
just
4 feet
gets
tall.
a chair.
how tall is Fiacre and how tall is Mithluna? Including horns.
What? I wrote this down somewhere.
I did too. Just a moment here.
Description.
I know
yes.
Mithluna, you said you were taller than me at least.
5'7".
Okay.
I'm 5'7".
That's not hard though.
I am taller than 4 feet.
And Fiacre, I have written down, is 5'8".
And then you add on the horns and taller still. So Vox looks to Fiacre. What is that one looking for? As they point to you.
I appreciate it. So I'm so glad you asked. I am on the hunt for. Now, I don't know exactly what form such an item would take, but my ideal of such a thing would be a magical item, preferably somewhere between the size of a pen, a ring, a book, and they gesture to their violin on their back, or a violin size, which could give me direct access to the Fae. Now, I have done a little bit of research on this, and I read somewhere about an item. Now, my source was not a terribly reliable one, so I'm not sure if this item existed or if it was merely hypothesized, but it was a ring of greater familiar. Now, whether such a specific item exists or not, that is the sort of general nature of the item that I am looking for. And that familiar, of course, would need to be a fae to fulfill my needs.
Hmm. They look down at a book that they are flipping through for a moment.
Fiacre is sweating. Fiacre doesn't often sweat. Fiacre is sweating.
They snap it closed and gracefully just hop over their desk and move right up to you and start looking you over. As a small note, does your character have pierced ears or any piercings on their face?
Yes, the ears.
They look over you for a moment. They start to reach towards one of your ears.
Fiacre holds still.
They take an earring from you and walk away. After rifling through a few boxes for a moment, they come back and with a odd looking ring that the way it's designed is after you put it on, it will look like a small snake is biting your ear. Once the earring is put in place.
I see.
And they move forward to attach it to your head.
Fiacre, hold still.
They do so and step back. Yes, this one will say that is a good hit.
I
So-
appreciate your fashion advice.
I will. This one will ask for 5 gold, as well as offer you, as well as the previously taken one, and you should be able to find your familiar friend. And they hold out a hand.
Absolutely. Fiacre produces the coins like fast, like they're moving like
Yeah.
they usually move with kind of calm, practiced poise, but right now they're like practically like a beggar, like being like reaching for coins, like
Yeah. You now have a instead of a hand ring of greater familiar, you have an hearing of greater familiar.
and that's actually like the laugh that Fiacre does. And they kind of like do a little hop. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And as you stand back up, you notice that they are no longer there, and they are actually intently looking at Mithluna. Mithluna, this person is inches from your face.
Hi. Hello. How
What
are you?
does that one need?
I need a focus. Something to help focus my chaos magic. Perhaps a wand or a ring. Or if you know of something better.
This one can provide something that can give focus. And they take the like last little bit of step closer to where their feet are almost touching the front of yours as they lean in close. But is that one willing to pay for it?
What's the price?
They are immediately up on a, like, you blink and they are now up on the second floor of this structure, going through some boxes. Oh, nothing terribly. That one just needs to trade an eye for an eye. And then disappears again. Or was it a tooth for a tooth? No, this one is certain it was an eye. That one shouldn't feel any pain.
You need my eye?
If that one wants what this one has, unless you want this one to look for something else. This one has something
Mithluna,
now.
just let me see it, and I will tell you if you should take my eye.
They pull something out of a They pull a small box out of one of the bins, hold it up and rattle it next to their head, nod, and walk to you. And open it up. And inside is a small sphere that is pure black. Like, does not shine, pure black. But the more that you look at it, the more it looks like you're looking at like a night sky from really far away. Because you don't have the spell available. Right. My apology. I completely forgot that one.
Completely forgot what?
One of the give me 1 second. I have to make a quick side message point.
Do do do. Could become an eye patch. Pretty rad eye patch.
I mean, you were on a pirate ship.
Oh, was.
Mithluna, if it makes you feel better, I'll give you one of my eyes.
Pause on conversation entirely for just a moment.
So sorry.
We're doing a quick thing. Okay, so I was doing a quick of like double checking consent range. I thought I had temporarily accidentally forgotten a line. We're fine. All good. Okay. Yeah. Mechanically speaking, they would be replacing one of your eyes with this item. You would not lose any visual ability. It's just a wondrous item that part of its attunement requirement is it needs to replace your eye.
It's the eye
Okay.
of Vecna.
No, it's not. Thankfully, it's not, because the Eye of Vecna looks very different.
I look at the eye. This will help with my magic?
Yes.
She nods. Kind of looks back at her friends. A little bit nervous based on the,
As you look back
The-
at your friends, they immediately... Which eye do you want in? Which eye would your character have offered up for?
Let's go with the right eye.
As you look to your friends, they see that your right eye has already been changed out.
Ah.
And when you look back, you, for just a split second, see the eye in the box before they close it. Like this one said, that one won't feel a thing. That one might
Touch my
need
eyes.
an hour or two with it before it works better.
Thank you. I think. I hope. Thank you. She like nods a little bit and then backs up. About like kind of patting her eye, making sure everything's fine.
Yeah, it feels like your eyes, it feels like an eye. Nothing visually has changed. I will let you know the mechanical thing once we get to break.
Okay, cool. I now have a starry eye. This is cool.
Yeah, Vox then... so visually, from this point on, looking into Llama's right eye is like looking into a night sky.
so cool, llama.
More specifically, it looks like it's looking into a night sky over the city of her home. It matches the where of your city. And the
Oh.
pupil is the guiding star that your family would use.
Llama, you're even more glorious than you were before.
I was about to say that's really beautiful.
It feels just like my eye. What does it look like? I can't see it.
Additional note for anyone who, if anyone else had taken said item, it would not look that same. It is because you are Ezri.
Oh, okay.
It is an astral magical item.
Ooh. I'm so excited to find out what this is.
Yeah, it's a cool little thing. You're gonna love it.
Cool.
Then Vox quickly steps over to in front of Silver.
Hi.
As they step in front of you, you notice that they are not slouching to look you eye to eye.
Hi. Nice to meet you. So this first item isn't for me. It's for someone else who
That
just
one
joined
gets
the
one.
party.
That one gets one request.
Yeah, I'm looking for specifically a ring of evasion or a pearl of spell storing, but I want to go with the ring of evasion, I think.
Ring to give one more evasiveness. This one might have something.
She'll show you her hands, and Silver has like a bunch of handmade rings. Like she has one on like each
Yeah.
hand essentially, except she said just yeah, one of them's my peepaws though, so I don't know if I want to give you that one, but if you need it, that's fine.
This one will take. They point to the pinky finger of your right hand.
And she'll hand you the ring. That's handmade from Riverite Mines.
They take it and you see them just turn their hand and drop it into their hand. And as it hits their other hand, it is now a like black steel ring. And they hand it back to you.
Awesome. This is perfect. And she's not gonna put it on because that would be bad. But so I don't know if I really need anything else. So I guess I'll just ask you, what do you think I need, Master Curator person?
That one already got something.
That's true. Okay, never mind. Thank you. That's all I needed.
And as they walk from Silver over to Skad, everyone is noticing that they are just shrinking in size. And by the time they get to Skad, they are same height, like same physical proportions that they were, but now they are just the same height as Skad is. What is that one looking for? Small point above the table. You could possibly ask for it.
Ask for.
I mean, you lost one.
Oh,
Who knows if there's
Hey,
only
Oh,
one left?
God.
God, come on.
God. You know
Wait.
this.
No,
Don't
this is-
overthink it.
This Matt has no idea what you're talking about.
The arrow.
Lost you.
Oh,
Baka.
Get the arrow back.
no.
This is a curator. They are here to curate your experience. So as they walk up, And they look at Skad. They say they ask the same question. What does that one want? What is that one looking for?
I give you all honesty that I have. I do not know. What I am looking for is what path to take. There are many things that can serve on many different paths. I want to keep them safe.
They lean in a little bit closer. And then they take a step back and hold out their hand. This one will take your bow.
God pulls his bow, runs his hand over it. I mean, it's a normal bow. It's nothing special or sentimental to him at this point. Save for all the time spent with it. Lays it in his hand.
They look over the bow for a moment. This one also needs an arrow. And they hold out another hand.
I reach into the upper pocket. Quick draw an arrow. Place it in his hand.
This one cannot repay you today. But that one will get what they're looking for. They put the items both in one hand, walk over, set it on the table, then look back at the group, and immediately a scowl grows on their face. These ones no longer have an appointment here.
Yep, that's our cue to leave. Scott's just
Right,
over
right.
heading out the door.
We'll see ourselves out.
Thank you. Take good care of
thank
my
you.
eye, won't you?
This one has taken care of your eye for a while.
The eye you have in is now your eye. That's
Yeah,
what
that
they
makes
No,
more
wait.
sense.
Oh,
That one just gave it to me. That one just gave it to this one. Did they?
Hmm.
Ah!
I start looking around for a blue box.
No blue box, but
Okay.
real quick, with that range, you're all allowed to roll a insight on them if you'd like.
yes, please.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I'm into that because I like this.
I have questions.
Ooh.
I like that little fella.
Oh, that's not bad at all. That's
Submissive
pretty good.
20 for me.
That would be a 21 here.
Wow.
Should I go with
Oh.
a chaos surge here? Or
Oh.
Do you want a chaos surge before you attune?
Yeah, you have to.
No,
I'm sure you have
no.
to attune to that.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm gonna wait until I attune to it. Okay.
A 7.
Oh no.
Sylvane just think that that Vox is weird.
It's a pretty one.
I just realized I need to remove my short bow and an arrow
Mm-hmm.
from my equipment.
10.
You're
10.
muted.
You also just think that they're kind of a weird person. Silver and Skad, you get the feeling that they don't see time the way the rest of you do. Like Vox is also doesn't seem to be the same person every time you look at them. Like there's something, like you're now noticing that every time you look at them, they look different. Maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older. Their gender seems to shift a little bit. They are different.
Decoupled from existence.
Time is a weird soup.
It is, in fact.
And they are not coupled to it the same way that the rest of you are. Neither is this room, as you're noticing.
Pretty nifty trick.
Yeah, no, we need to go now, out.
Okay, okay.
As you all step out, you actually hear a set of footprints go inside the room as the door closes.
Is Philly out here?
Fair enough.
Philly, were you waiting outside for them?
Only if so
It would have been the
I was
next
gonna-
morning.
yeah, so I was gonna start on the smith while they were there, but like I would also need Silver's measurements. So
Which you could have gotten the night before.
yeah, so I would have been at the smith getting that started. Like I wouldn't have shown up with them to the
Yeah.
meeting.
So when, because I'm guessing Silver, you got the ring for Philly.
Yes, I did.
So the timing for it, Philly, they said that they are gonna go and leave, go and see the curator.
Mhm.
And they told you, like, roughly, you heard the directions of where it would be, so you guessed, maybe 10-15 minute walk
Mhm.
from upstairs to them, and then however long it's going to take, maybe an hour. Who knows? It could be an all-day thing, and then it's going to be another, like, 15-20 minute walk from there to the forge real quick.
Yeah.
The time it takes for Silver to get to you is the time it would take to walk from the room, go down, touch the door, and then go to you.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. The rest of you, basically in above table terms, time didn't pass
Sure.
Baller.
while you were inside. For the rest of
Weird.
everyone's...
I was worried it was going to be the other way around.
No. The footsteps that you heard were your steps going in.
That's what I thought. Yep.
Which is why the brick that was there is the wall that stops you from seeing yourself.
I think with Skad being so attuned to his movements and everything to be naturally stealthy, I think Skad may recognize his own footsteps. If you'll allow that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Skad's just like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. That's our lives now. He just keeps going. He's just in a, yeah, this is just our day kind of mode this past day.
All right.
Mithluna's just kind of muttering as she walks out. What did he mean? He's been taking care of my eye for a while.
Sorry. I don't think he follows time, or they follow time like the rest of us.
But what do you mean? He'd
That would
just
make
taken my
sense.
eye. Oh,
But to
time got
them,
weird.
yeah, to them, time had existed. I heard myself walking in when we were walking out.
That
Fun
is a
trick,
weird
that.
soup. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go think on things. And Scott just wanders off.
Perfectly
So
fair. Have fun.
I'm going to call to the party real quick. You all can do where your characters are going to be heading off during your month away. Before you leave the manor, you are all given a message at some point or another by the barkeep that in the near future someone is going to come and find you for another job.
To save some time, do you want them to give the party members their letters as well then?
If you want them to pass the letters around.
Yeah, I think to make things easier on Silver for separating with everyone, I think she would just do it that way. She'll tuck the ring of evasion into the envelope with Philly's letter in it and do it that way.
For recap ranges, please refer to your TikTok videos. For Fiacres, please post that into the Discord area.
I sent it to them. I can post all of them, but I did send Fiacre's individually.
Perfect. That, as long as they get their letter, that is all that truly matters. I'm going to
Do you
Yes.
want me to do kind of a generalization for chat?
we'll do a generalization for chat.
Yeah, so Llama's was don't die, please. Always I will go into my villain era, essentially. Skad's is don't mess with Mithluna. Always I'll kick you out, kick you. Philly's was please take care of Mithluna if you're near her. Also, focus on the ending of the letter. It's a promise that Silver made to her. Fiacre, it was what you taught them. And so Silver made each of these letters as a goodbye and what each of them bring to the table and how much they mean to her. So, yes, Philly, I will get yours notarized. I will add that to your bottom of the letter.
You're asking me to do work.
Yeah, no, exactly. I am going to get it notarized. I'm just waiting on the paperwork and the documentation, but
You're
that's
essentially,
essentially it.
Would
Yeah,
Scott be a notary in his job? No, he was just a dog worker.
He was just a dog worker.
Yeah.
Philly
yeah,
is
so-
a notary.
you notarize your own.
I would not
thing.
notarize my own. That's unethical. You can't do that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, each of the letters are just basically that. In summary, I didn't want to take up too much time, so that's why I did it kind of that way. But it was a fun little project.
Very fun. Anyone who wants to see those available, they are over on the Ticking of Talks
That
for
D&D
that
The
D&D
ticking
check.
time talk.
And
Yep. I've seen mine already.
what is Fiacre doing for their month off?
So, I think the first sort of order of business for Fiacre is to, since honestly they were only half sure that they would be able to get the item that they wanted, they are going to be essentially taking their new familiar, sort of learning about them, kind of experimenting with what kinds of powers they can develop together, and going to, well, given permission, Lord Xandro's libraries, or the sort of nearest largest library around the area of like Lord Xandro's Manor and Mandan and all that, to kind of do research on a lot of the clues that Skad had kind of made note of, and seeing what they could learn about this ancient language, about the doorways, and all of that. So I think for Fiacre, this is very much like a month of utilizing their background, because I did take the Sage background, so they are going to essentially be trying to use that scholarly angle to come up with as many answers to their questions as they can, and learn a lot more about their whatever this new familiar is.
All right. Real quick, you're going to roll a d8.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll a d8.
Okay.
And you're going to choose whether or not you want yours or mine.
And I assume this is leveling up.
This is leveling
sort
up.
of time. Okay, fantastic. I do also have a very short thing for my level 4 to explain my feat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we're going to ride that high. That's why I chose you first.
All right. I will take yours.
You got it too.
Okay, fantastic. That was what I rolled to. So that it was just my fate, right? Like
Apparently.
I was just gonna get 2 either way.
So your lovely moment of leveling and taking a feat, which makes me laugh a little bit.
There is a plot afoot.
Oh, there's a plot.
There is a foot of plot. Or a meter of plot, perhaps, since I'm a bard. Anyway, okay, anyway. Okay, so shall I announce which feat I'm getting?
Why not?
See, Sylvane, Fiacre, you're just a little trouble. Trouble cleft.
Yeah, that groan just said it all.
All right. In any case, so when Fiacre levels up to level 4, they will be taking the Fey Touched feat. And I explain this via the following. Fiacre tilted their scuffed flask back, taking in the last of their sweet, spicy whiskey, letting the warmth run down their throat and settle in their stomach like the passion of a lover. Immediately, their pen hit the page again, flicking this way and that. The soft scratches, the desperate cry of a cramping hand just struggling to keep up with a zealous mind. Images rushed by in their mind's eye, the clear, blinding light of the desert sun, the cold glint of an assassin's steely blade, the defiant fingers of steel and glass that cut into the city's skyline like a thicket of spears. Sounds like the strangled screams of an executed nobleman, scents like the musk of smoky incense and the spice of the marketplace. Dialogue conjured up not by their own mind, but that seemed to be spoken directly to them. If their pens stopped for longer than a breath, they'd miss part of the conversation. It was always like this, writing. The inspiration came from somewhere beyond light and dark, beyond earth and sky. They were like a sailor in their way, always struggling to point their sails in the right direction and hang on long enough to ride the wind. This night, they were finally going to finish an important early linchpin in their story, but they struggled to put their finger upon what it could be. The protagonist was negotiating for information from an enigmatic creature of smoke and darkness. What am I? The shout finally tore loose from their lips. For a long time, they'd been trying their hardest to avoid losing their temper with such a powerful being, but at last, the question demanded answer. He chuckled, a dark, echoing sound that filled the room in ways no mortal voice could. You still haven't figured it out yet. When he shook his head, it was as if they hadn't even seen it happen. His head was simply in a new position, then another, then another. My child, you are as you have been since that fateful day, in a time that was, for you, long ago. Put simply, you are a child of the Fae. Blinking, Fiacre dropped their pen and stared at the page. The vision was over, and their writing session would be finished as well, but they couldn't escape the uncanny sense that those words were not just meant for their protagonist. And with that, I conclude the scene, but I will say, Guild, I could tell by your smirk that you know exactly what book Fiacre is writing.
Not only that, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the plot moving forward of that particular subplot.
Fantastic.
As the quill is set down, and Fiacre starts diving more into study and writing, the camera pans over first a bright light, and then pulls away, focusing in on coals and fire, and a bit of metal pulling out of a forge. A orcish woman holding a breastplate brings it over to a set of metal forms and sets it down and starts striking at it carefully. Her blows in quick precision as she talks through her tusks. Now, I know you are not of a particular hand at this kind of metal, but you need to make sure you have a quick, adept movement as well as the proper hammerhead. Gold brands aren't used to something so fiddly that takes an extra bit of grunt to make it move, she says as she strikes the armor into a better shape. The back piece of this breastplate being reshaped from once a set of much broader shoulders being repositioned into the measurements and sketchings provided. Side by side, you work with a blood screamer on this bit of on this mithril armor. She has you working mostly on the arms and legs, and occasionally on a bit of the back piece, and also making sure that the leather bits are reattached properly. But she is refusing to let you near the chest piece, back piece, or helmet that is provided. The helmet is being reshaped slightly, not only to fit the head of the new person, but adding a little bit of flair. As you are working on one of the arm pieces, your eyes gazing into the fire, for a moment you think you see a pair of eyes staring back at you. As you blink, you feel yourself standing at a different forge. This forge is much older, set around a dark, singular stone structure. You are in open air, and behind you, you hear someone working on a bit of metal on an anvil. Without turning, you hear this man speak. A voice you've heard very clearly a couple times in your life. The fire grows warm. The forge is kept. Make sure that you are hardening yourself, tempering your steel. Make sure to cast off the slag. I may be first of stone, but when I am finished, you shall be first of iron.
Hearing that, I'm gonna whip around, knowing the voice, not like not knowing what to do with that information. So I'm gonna whip around and be like, I'm so sorry, but pardon me. Also, I made you something, and I'm gonna produce a gold coin that I flattened out, and forged into a tiny crane, and I'm gonna offer that.
As you turn around, you see what looks to be a dwarven man, but his physical body is made of stone, onyx, and granite. Veins of visible molten lava. Hair, his short hair, literal fire upon his head. As he turns around, his grand beard, a literal flame upon his face. And he smiles to you. Filigree, you are learning your craft well. I must protest, though, of something, if you will allow me to protest, child.
It's your gift. If you choose not to accept it, I understand.
Oh, the gift is graciously taken. And he holds out his hand.
I hand it to him.
You are a child branded in gold.
So I've been told.
Gold is so easily, and he puts his thumb on the front of the crane and pushes it, making the wings flap as a proper origami crane can.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that yourself.
No, I can't. But yeah.
Gold is so fragile. And being of golden brand, that means that you are fragile and marked by someone else. Filigree, I offer you a gift. One that I have continuously given, and something to move forward.
And what would that be?
A name.
I would be happy to accept something so precious.
Very well. And I need you to focus and don't let the mithril gold and wake up. Filigree Ironblood, first of her name. Pay attention. Pay attention! And you feel a hand grab your shoulder.
Okay. I immediately try to refocus on my work, and I'm just you know that moment where you're like, I'm not hyperventilating. I can just pretend like I'm not hyperventilating long enough to get through this excited panic attack. Yeah. So yeah. also being the first time that you've seen Filigree not in like her travel regalia, they are covered very military kid style in a bunch of like hand done bad tattoos, like all bicep and up, with the exception of across their shoulders. They have a series of dwarven runes that read out in a language that's not quite dwarven. So I don't think anyone could read them anyway, but so they have a branding across their shoulders. And yeah, so like the first time you're seeing them, they're actually like all the cheap little punk tattoos you get from your friends. First person who got like a tattoo gun off the local shop or whatever. Yeah, just covered in them.
Real quick, I need you to roll me a d8.
Okay.
And I need you to pick yours or mine.
I think I want to take mine.
What'd you get?
I got a 7.
Okay. Real quick, minor backtrack range. Fiacre, you were wanting to train up a skill, correct?
That is correct.
What skill were you wanting to train up?
Yeah, I am sorry that I to jump in again here.
It's
I
quite
just
alright.
forgotten to mention it. I was so excited for my little cutscene. So Fiacre takes a note from their frankly, the idea of charming the party had kind of come to them slowly over the course of being given the rights to edit the party's statement and being able to sort of embellish their own role a little bit. And then kind of thinking to themselves like, yeah, I could sell this, especially if I have someone else, at least one other person in the party, willing to sort of brag about me to everyone they meet for a little while. And I can talk more about their internal logic behind that another time. But point being that experience sort of highlighted to them the idea that a lie with physical evidence is just so much strong, like, you know, like for example, the notes is so much stronger than a lie told just verbally. And since fiction is their sort of area of study, they decide during their hiatus to learn to use a forgery kit so that they can create all sorts of false documents and you
As
know,
you're
copy things down and all that.
as you are working in the library, the Kenku, who you eventually learn is Fucker the 12th.
Absolutely yes.
Did you just say Fucker the 12th?
Yes.
I'm so
Yes.
I love this
That-
person.
That they're automatic. Like somehow this is our new favorite NPC.
Yep.
Which they're a scribe. Also, for anyone who has watched any of my older stuff, might remember Fucker the first. The first Kenku to work in this particular library.
Aww.
And the family has been working here ever since. And the one who ends up in the
The family of fuckers.
Family fucker.
The family of fuckers.
yeah,
Meet
the
the
way that they got
fuckers.
their name is at some point like, hey, fucker, come here.
The fucker family.
The Fucker family.
That's amazing.
So
I'm so
the
glad.
camera
So they went
will
from Fucker the 12th.
Philly, were you training up a skill on top of the getting your feet in?
Yeah, so feet, I'm also taking Fey Touched, reflavored celestial wise. And it's gonna be that. Otherwise, I am spending a lot of time when I'm not at the forge, I'm also spending time looking into joining the Mages Guild and gaining proficiency with Arcana.
All right. The person that you are learning Arcana from is a high elf named Lula. She is the local in the manor mage. Specifically, she is a wizard. But she does bring you into the Mages Guild. You end up with another badge to go in your small case badges.
Heck yeah.
As well
Be happy to go
as
to the
she
league
offers
soon.
you a set of, like, if you wear a coat, a set of copper buttons.
Mm. Okay, yeah.
That is the local marking offhand, but you have seen different markings elsewhere.
Mhm.
She just offers them to you, just like, it's kind of just part of regular range. Joining the guild will cost 5 silver.
All right. And I'll also have to pay my dues for the other ones, or is that factored into me just being around working?
That will be factored in working.
Okay. And then I'll have to go around to each of my guilds and meticulously update my legal information and my legal name change. It's somehow become the most time-consuming part of my of my month is legally changing my name, hiring
For
post
notarization
persons.
purposes, do I need to use Iron Blood now for your? I will.
You don't even know that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to use Gold Brand.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's the other thing. I gotta get extensions on existing accounts that I have going on where I'm in contract. Like, oh, Satan's Gold Brand now.
It takes a while for it to
Mhm.
get passed around, but once you have it positioned in of like, oh, it is no longer Gold Brand, it is,
Mhm.
you have a new moniker, a new title.
Mhm.
It'll slowly start getting caught up.
Okay.
As we see the frustration start growing and the hand cramps increasing from Filigree drawing out paperwork, the camera pans over with a cross dissolve. You seeing Mithluna.
Yes.
As a note from this point, after Mithluna is going to be Silver, and then God will wrap us up.
All right, so Mithluna is also going to be sticking around. She's going to be spending a lot of time in the library. She is going to be doing a whole lot of research on the history of the Titans. Um, what she can find out about the old gods and their history and the war that elevated the Titans into being barons. Um, there's also another entity that she is going to be doing some research on that guild you know about, but it has not been
Mm-hmm.
revealed to the table yet. Um,
That's in the history books as well.
it is. So she's going to be spending her month doing that research to really understand what she's gotten herself into and the entanglement that that has become with all of these different entities. Um, and she's also going to try the skill that she's going to be learning is investigation
With a
or
lot of
history
the
if you think history is more appropriate.
I will let you choose between the two. You're kind of doing a lot of investigating uh, throughout the book work, as well as you are studying up history. I will let you choose which one you want proficiency in.
Probably the history, actually, the more I think about it.
Okay.
So
And
the
then
history, and in addition, she's going to be joining the Mages Guild as a chaos mage.
that'll cost you 5 silver.
Perfect.
Also, I need you to roll me a d6.
Hee-hee. This can in no way go horribly wrong.
And tell me if you want yours or mine.
I want yours.
You got a 1. What'd you roll?
How? Even when you don't roll, you get a 1. How is this possible? How is this possible?
I am so sorry. I picked up the die, I rolled it, and I just let it sit there. I'm like, this is not going to be fun. I am sorry.
You can't even allow
Amazing.
for re-rolling ones.
No, this tracks for Katy. I'm just gonna be
Yeah, this is normal.
Makes
even when
sense.
she's even when she's not rolling,
Just-
she gets a 1.
I'm
I
gonna
just rolled
declare it
again, I
now.
rolled another 1. So, yeah, it's...
Oh, dear God.
It's
I'm just going to
absolutely
declare
fated.
it now. If you and I ever meet, you are not touching any of my dice.
I'm sending her
These
new
are
dice.
a different...
They're going
These are a
away.
set of dice that I haven't touched in a minute, and I'm probably going to be swapping them out for which dice I'm using.
And
I'm
just
sending her new
pray you
dice.
never meet Will Wheaton.
He actually might make my dice better.
Shake his hand. Yeah, he might make mine better. I need to meet Will Wheaton and shake his hand. That's the.
Anyways,
So that's the thing.
only if you want
Yeah,
to.
and only if I want to.
Fiacre sent me a quick message, and I mentioned
Oh,
of
okay.
the fact of if you want to do that, you can. Oh, I haven't put them all in place yet. You just mark it in your notes on
Makes
your character page.
Yep.
If you are joining a guild, joining guilds costs 5 silver to join. Every season it is it is a gold to keep everything up to date. That is, making sure paperwork is in place and blah blah blah. And then at the beginning of the year, it is 5 gold, and that gets like that stacks in, and those are used for funeral charges and so on and so forth and blah blah blah. Like, hey, we're gonna pay for your funeral, and technically we pay for every funeral of everyone in our guild if you're an adventurer. Like, those are specifically adventurer guild things, but like Mage's Guild can sometimes have that problem too.
You made a fantasy world and you still made us have insurance.
I made you a fantasy world with unions.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like,
I can get on board with that.
unions with life insurance. Like, why not? Like, these are high-risk jobs. The lifespan of an adventurer is much shorter than any other job.
And that's 5 gold a year. Like, if you did 6 jobs,
Most jobs pay
got paid.
really well.
Yeah.
Like, most jobs
Is-
on the low end will give you 15 gold. And that's
Yeah.
more than most common folk make in a year.
Most people live off of like a gold a day, so they never actually see a gold coin. It just totals up to that with the smaller coins changing their hands.
Mm-hmm. Like, most people aren't making this kind of money in a single hit.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Oh, Fiacre's like, where's this job been all my life?
On the other side of the deadly line. Because once you cross that line, you're going into a place where death is more
It's
of an
the
inevitability.
instability. You can live safely behind the walls, protected by guards and soldiers that are trained to protect the people behind the walls, or you do the jobs that they want to hire people to do so they don't have to pay the guards and soldiers to go out and die and do it because they need them on the walls.
If you come back with fame and fortune. If you don't come back, Well, you signed the paperwork to allow us to let you
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Several days pass. The road is quite long, and the deep lake is once again in sight. Back to Mandan. Back to the waterfront. So I should probably let you know that I'm cutting out this particular downtime clip so that way you can go and watch that over on its own episode. It is the short draft story of Lady and the Scamp, which is posted a day or two after this one. So, same channel, just a little bit newer. Now, back to the plot. I'm going to be imparting onto you something that is a little less than fun. I'm going to give you 1 point of greater exhaustion.
That's fine.
Which what it does is it's like a level of exhaustion that does not go away for a week after you get back with the party. So instead of a long rest regaining your level of exhaustion, this exhaustion it lingers. You're being put through the ringer as whatever it is that you're doing for your 4th level, you are also getting a proficiency. You are also getting in part the feat to weapon fighting on top of whatever it is that you're taking for 4th level.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 2 weapon fighting, the feat, is being given to you on top of whatever it is that you're choosing for 4th level.
Well,
Dual wielding is the name of the feat.
Dang.
Yeah, dual wielding.
2 weapon fighting is the fighting initiate.
Yeah,
or the
so you get dual
fighting
wielding as a feat
as a manual feat.
for free.
okay, and then a skill on top of that.
No. Instead of training a skill, you're training a feat.
Okay.
You do like feet.
I do
Yeah.
love feet. I get 2 feet then.
So-
That's what you're saying.
As we learned.
So you can either do an
Um,
ASI and get the feat, or 2 feet.
So what they're saying is you're doing your ASI/feat for your
Yep.
level 4,
Yep.
and you're getting the bonus feat of dual wielder.
Okay.
So you can take
Matt,
a s-
help me.
so-
Help me with that, because it's only letting
Yeah.
me do 1. So you're gonna have to.
So what you'll do is you'll do the ASI/feat in the leveler, and then you'll
Yep.
go on your character sheet, and you can manually add the feat
manage.
there.
Yeah, I knew that.
Features and traits. All the way at
Yeah.
the bottom.
Those extra feats are how I gave you guys or how we got you all the initial spells and whatnot, depending on your class.
Yeah.
And that's how I can add features to your character sheet. I'll just make 1,000,000 feats.
I love feetsies.
We know.
So the camera,
Yes.
as the fighting continues and the training is hard, the camera pans away into the entrance of a small village in the forest. Small goblin walks in.
God's been traveling for a day or two over the hills and through the woods. To Scott's mother's house we go.
Lose 50 experience points. The gamer's reference, I'm sorry. Kind of.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. It's been a while since he's been home. Anybody who watches and pays attention, there's a level of trepidation on his face. Especially for recent events. Some of the folks in the village spot him, but he makes sure that nobody who knows him does. getting close to evening, but being a village in the woods, you've got some huts on the ground, some actually built up in the treetops, little stairs. So, various tribes. It's mostly goblin, but there are various other species and lineages there. At one end of the village, there's a path that leads to a sectioned off area. Skad eyes it and is about to head towards it, but then veers off and ducks around a few more houses, slipping through shadows unnoticed and unseen. And a middle-aged goblin woman is working her hut, and she hears a knock on the door. She goes to open it, and standing there in the properly fitted new adventurer's coat that Scott's been spending the few days getting used to, missing a bow, only has the 2 short swords. Scott says, "Hey, Mom. I'm home. I need to talk to the Duchy. It's time I actually give a full report of everything that's been going on."
This is another downtime that I am editing out of the base video and making it its own episode. As usual, like with the last one, you can find it a couple days after this episode has premiered. You're looking for Welcome Home, Skad's story. So without further ado, back to the plot. Roll me a deep 10.
All right. I'll keep mine.
What'd
I
you
rolled
get?
a 6.
Okay.
What did you roll? I am curious, though.
A 9.
Fair enough. But, 6 is good.
I roll really badly for like 2 people. It's like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. Then I'm rolling better than everyone else.
Bah,
I am
your
sorry.
wizard, your sorcerer just got squishier.
By the way, I'm going to toss you a additional 2 health real quick.
All right.
Llama,
I
I'm
need
tossing you 2 more
to-
health.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We will hopefully see you all with fewer technical issues on the 3rd Tuesday. Probably with another person in tow. Until next time, be well, roll safe, and enjoy the tavern. Hey everyone, Guild here, your illustrious DM. Thank you for watching this episode of Tales from the 10 Lands. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications whenever we post a new session. You can always catch us live every first and third Tuesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. Central Time over on twitch.tv/BlackBarrelTavern. Until next time, be well, roll safe, and enjoy the tavern.